So today's topic will be configuring IPv4 address and static routes. We will learn about how packet really moves through connected routes, what is an ARP, what is static routing, what do you mean by default gateway, longest prefix match na ennadu. Will teach visually all these things and all. Okay. So myself Vishnu, this is going to be a chapter on networking static route. We'll have 4 hands-on lab and 20 plus interview questions in this. So let's talk about the topic that will be covered. See, agenda la pathina, we have 6 themes here, 4 labs. We'll have a small troubleshooting drills and interview ready questions. Roughly or 1.5 hours with interaction. Okay. First, we'll talk about routing fundamentals. We'll learn about how does router build routing table. See, routing table is very important because only on the IP address the destination IP or any IP which you want to reach, if it is there inside the router, then only the ping will happen, or else that router cannot reach that particular IP address. So we learn about how those IPs goes inside the routing table. We'll talk about connected routes. We'll talk about what is ARP, what is static routing. We learn about what do you mean by longest prefix match like /69, /25/32. Then we'll talk about troubleshooting and interview question. See, by the end of this chapter, you will configure connected and static routes from Vishnu R1 to Sharan R2. The router name chillada and explain every line of show IP route in a plain English. Ada puruchuka panapo. So first of all, routing table na ennadu. See, a routing table is a router's map for every destination network it can reach. Routers learn those routes in 3 different ways. See, routing table na enna pathina. If you take a normal postman, right, this postman will have a Excel sheet. On the Excel sheet, this postman will write down all the addresses which he can deliver the letter. If he is getting a letter, in that letter address in the Excel sheet illa. In that case, he will not be able to deliver that letter. If an Excel sheet important to the postman, routers routing table is important. So you take one router, the router will have all the IP addresses. If you don't see an IP address in that router, and if somebody is trying to reach that IP address via the router, ping reachability will not be there. Okay. Now, how does an IP can come into the router now? Router kulla porthake 3 options irukku. One is called as a connected route, second is static route, third one is dynamic route. Connected route now, subnets directly attached to the router's interface learn the moment of an interface comes to up and up state. So you take one router, in the router in the interface you configure an IP address 12.0.0.1 means this is called connected routes. So these IPs will go into the routing table block. Ulla first 12.0.0.0 which means I am directly connected. Second possible way pathina using static routes. See, routes typed in by the admin with IP route command. If you are telling this router how to reach a network, manually to go to that network, go via this IP. Manually, if you are informing, there is a command called IP route starting with IP route. And that is called as a static route. It's like someone manually told me the path. Manually they have informed me. Next, dynamic routes. Dynamic routes na with the help of routers gossip. Gossip na chuma between routers basic. So when the router automatically talk between them and they learn the IPs. Appadina, it's called dynamic routes. The routers share what they know using routing protocol. If you take like 1, 2, 3, 4 routers, whatever he knows, he will inform it to him. Whatever his round table, he will inform him as well as him. இந்த மாதிரி அவங்கள்ட்ட இருக்க இன்ஃபர்மேஷன்ஸை they will keep on exchanging with the neighbor. அதுக்கு they will use a protocol called either OSPF, AGRP, RIP or PGP. It's like doing gossips. Now, what is the command to use routing table, to see routing table? The command is go to enable mode and type show IP route. Yeah, if you type show IP route, you can see the command. So this is a single most used command in CCNA. It's going to list out all the destination this router can reach and how it is learned. Is it learned via connected or static or OSPF or RIP? அதுவும் பார்க்க முடியும். Okay. Just for a small exam tip, see your connected routes na they sit on the router itself. Static na someone manually or admin manually told how to reach that network. Dynamic na it is learned from the peer by doing the gossips with the help of protocol called any of these. We learn about how the packet really travels. Kindly read this once. Explain Montana. Okay, so let's see now how packet really travels. See, we'll follow a single ping from Vishnu PC to server. Imagine என்கிட்ட ஒரு PC இருக்கு. That PC name is Vishnu PC. Then we got a router 1, router 2 and server. Vishnuவோட PC IP வந்து 10.10. So let's make it as 10.10 short form. இந்த இடத்துல வந்து server PC is 192.20. So I'm just writing the last two numbers. இப்போ from PC1 or Vishnu's PC to server traffic போகணும். Imagine this interface MAC address is XX. இந்த interface MAC address is YY. இந்த interface MAC address ZZ. இந்த interface MAC address AA. இந்த interface MAC address BB. இந்த interface MAC address CC. Okay. Now I'm going to ask you a question, guys. Simply. See, when Vishnu PC want to send traffic to server, there will be 4 informations. Okay. What will be the source IP address? சொல்லுங்க. What will be source IP? source MAC,
10.
destination MAC. Source IP என்னவா இருக்கும் 10.10 என்று
Ten dot 10.
How about destination IP? That 192 IP.
192.
What will be the source MAC IP?
XX.
XX என்று இருக்கும். What will be the destination MAC IP?
CC.
It will not be CC everyone.
Why
CC இருக்க வாய்ப்பு இல்லை. CC இருந்துச்சுன்னா physically this packet is going directly to him அர்த்தம். Then what is the point of these routers here? So it will be always YY. Okay. Destination MAC will be YY. This packet comes all the way to R1. Now R1 will see YY. பார்த்துட்டு he'll become happy. Oh, YY, that I'm only YY. அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு he'll open the cover. Once he open the cover, inside பார்த்தா destination IP somebody else. அப்போ என்ன பண்ணுவான்? He will look into its routing table. இந்த routing tableல he will observe that இந்த 192.168 IP வந்து it's learned via இந்த guy Sharan R2 router. So he will re-encapsulate everything. அப்போ டிராஃபிக் இங்கேருந்து இங்கே போக ஆரம்பிக்கும். This is AA, ஓகேவா? ஸோ இந்த இடத்துல போகும்போது what will be the source IP and destination IP? Source IP will be 10.10. Destination IP என்ன இருக்கும் 192. Source MAC வந்து
ZZ.
it will be ZZ. Destination MAC will be AA. ஆன்சர் பண்ணுங்க, ஏன் அமைதியாக இருக்கணும்? ஓகேவா? Now this comes all the way to R2. Now R2 will become again happy, saying that okay, decision MAC வந்து A MAC தான் அப்படி சொல்லிட்டு he will open the cover. Once he open the cover, removes MAC address informations. Inside பார்த்தா IP இல்லை, it is somebody else IP. So I will re-encapsulate again to give it to him. He will check in his routing table. He will find that okay, 192 IP, it's via this BB MAC address. Fine. I will re-encapsulate everything. அப்போ source IP, destination IP, source MAC, decision MAC. Source IP will be what? 10.10. Destination IP, that 192 series IP. Source MAC will be
BB.
Destination MAC will be CC. This comes all the way to server. Now server again will see the destination MAC IP. I'm happy ஆயிட்டு he'll open the cover. Once he open the cover, he observed that destination IP is also my IP only. Again he opens that IP address cover. Inside that he will see data. So can I say data is inside? On top of that I have IP layer. On top of that I have MAC layer. Yes or no?
Yes.
MAC address will keep on changing every router, whereas IP address is not going to change. Simply think like this. இது உங்களோட ஹோம், இது போஸ்ட்மேன்.
எதனாச்சு மேக் அட்ரஸ் மட்டும் ஈச் ரவுட்டருக்கு நமக்கு சேஞ்ச் ஆகுது?
ஏன்னா இட்ஸ் லேயர் 2 அட்ரஸ் இல்லையா மேக் அட்ரஸ்.
ஓகே.
ஒரு மேக் அட்ரஸ் வந்து ரவுட்டர் தாண்டி போக முடியாது இல்ல?
ஆமா.
So that's why it has to change. Imagine இது ஒரு போஸ்ட்மேன் நம்பர் 1, இவன் போஸ்ட்மேன் நம்பர் 2, இவங்க வந்து உங்க ஃப்ரெண்டோட வீடு இருக்கு, இது நீங்க இது. So when you want to deliver a letter to your friend, maybe his name is Arun, his name is Vishnu. Now Vishnu want to give letter to Arun. அப்போ விஷ்ணு என்ன பண்ணுவான்? விஷ்ணு டைரக்டா பஸ் பிடிச்சு கொண்டு போயிட்டு இங்க தர மாட்டான் இல்லையா? அதுக்கு லெட்டர் எழுதணும், அது போய் பேசிட்டு போயிடலாமே. So he will give the letter to nearest postman. Postman will check which address. To deliver the letter, postman will see from address or to address.
Postman will see the two address.
Two. From address he don't even care as of now, right? So to address he observes and he sees that okay, Arun is not living in my area. I have to go and give it to postman number 2. So I will go here and give. Now postman number 2 will check which address, from or to address.
அது ஓகே. இப்போ என்னன்னா இப்போ
சொல்லி முடிச்சிருங்க, இன்னும் முடிக்கலை, முடிச்சு சொல்லுங்க. So to address he will check. Now he will come back to Arun and give the letter to him. இப்போ பார்த்தீங்கன்னா on this entire travel, letter is my packet. சரிங்களா? Now in the letterல we wrote our from address and to address, right? That is like the IP address. Did postman 1, postman number 2, or anyone is changing from and to address? யாராவது மாத்துறாங்களா?
இல்ல.
So from and
No.
to address is like your source IP address and destination IP address. Now, what about MAC address? Do you know that MAC address can be termed as a physical address? Correct? It's like a physical
ஆமா.
address. Correct.
Yes.
So now, if you see, watch carefully, Vishnu is physically going to postman number 1. Now, in between them, physical address is who? Vishnu to postman number 1, right? Same way, when postman 1 to postman number 2, physical address is postman number 1 to postman number 2. Here, physical address is postman number 2 to Arun. But can I say in every hop, physical address is going to change, but logical IP address will not change? Yes or no?
Yes.
Clear? Great. Fine. Now, yeah,
Sir.
Dilip, you had a question?
Sir,
Yeah, Christopher, சொல்லுங்க.
sir, every எல்லா ரவுட்டருக்கு 2 மேக் இருக்குமா சார்?
ஒரு இன்டர்ஃபேஸ்க்கு ஒரு மேக் இருக்கும் ஜி.
ஓகே ஓகே சார்.
ரவுட்டர்ல ஒரு 10 இன்டர்ஃபேஸ் இருந்துச்சுன்னா 10 இன்டர்ஃபேஸுக்கும் ஒரு மேக் இருக்கும்.
ஓகே சார். தேங்க்யூ.
டிவைஸுக்கு மேக் இல்லைங்க, இன்டர்ஃபேஸுக்கு தான் மேக்கு. இப்போ இஃப் யூ டேக் அண்ட் பிசி எடுத்துக்கிட்டீங்கன்னா பிசியில் எத்தனை மேக் இருக்கும்? திலீப் சொல்லுங்க.
ஜி நம்மளோட இன்டர்ஃபேஸை பொறுத்தாச்சு, அது நம்ம ஈத்தர்நெட் 1 ஈத்தர்நெட் 2 கனெக்ட் பண்ணோம், அந்த ஈத்தர்நெட்டோட மேக் தான் நமக்கு அடுத்த இதுல ரிசீவ் ஆகும்.
கரெக்ட். கிறிஸ்டபர் சொல்றாரு பாத்தீங்களா, அவரு ஒரு பிசிக்கே மேக்னு சொல்ல மாட்டாரு. அவரு என்ன சொல்றாரு கரெக்டா? அவரு ஒரு இன்டர்ஃபேஸ்க்கு ஒரு மேக்னு சொல்றாங்க. இப்போ என்கிட்ட பிசில ஒரு 4-5 இன்டர்ஃபேஸ் இருக்குன்னா, ஃபார் தட் 4-5 இன்டர்ஃபேஸ் வில் பி ஹேவிங் 1 மேக் அட்ரஸ். சரி, ஃபார் 4-5 இன்டர்ஃபேஸ் வில் ஹேவ் 4 to 5 மேக் அட்ரஸ். ஓகே
ஓகே சார். தேங்க்யூ.
தேங்க்யூ. Yeah, Manoj, tell me.
So I did not understand that you said like every interface has a different MAC addresses. I did not understand that.
Okay, how many MAC address does a computer has, Manoj?
One address?
One address. You have done your CCNA, right?
Yes.
When? Which year?
A month ago.
Okay. Fine, God, I'll tell you now. I'll call you back after the class. So let's talk about how many MAC address. See, one PC has MAC address will be where, first of all, guys? MAC address will be in a network interface card, right?
Interface card. Yes.
Yeah. It will be inside network interface card. Now, see, how many network interface card is my computer having? Imagine that my computer is having one type of communication require one type of network interface card, guys. If my computer is having Wi-Fi, I'm having Wi-Fi communication, I'm having Ethernet communication, I'm having Bluetooth communication. So for Wi-Fi, I need one network interface card. For Ethernet, one NIC card. For Bluetooth, one NIC card. So I need how many NIC card? 3 NIC card, right? One NIC card is equal to how many MAC address? 1 MAC address. 3 NIC card is equal to 3 MAC address. So let's prove it now. So those who have joined using computer, go to command prompt and type this command. Those who have joined using this computer, go to command prompt and type this command. Get my command போடுங்க. PC1 get IV packet. Manoj Patil, do you see more than one?
There are 2 I can see here.
Great. More than one is 2, right? Is your Bluetooth is turned on now?
No, it's off.
Turn it on and then check again. You might see 3.
Got 3 now.
Do you see 3 now?
Yes.
Excellent. So that's it. So 1 MAC, 1 NIC is equal to 1 MAC, 1 communication is equal to 1 NIC. I hope I'm clear now. Fine.
Yes. Thank you.
So let's understand inside the router. Inside the router. What a router does, step by step, we'll understand now. Okay. I told you already about that encapsulation, decapsulation thing. Let's see here. See, if you take one router, right? Router receives a packet, receives frame on the interface, a bit stream arrives on GI0/0. Maybe interface is gigabyte Ethernet 0/0 interface. First, what he will do FCS check and MAC check, frame check sequence, to make sure nothing has been altered. If FCS check is failed, then I will drop it and I will process only if that received packet la destination MAC is my own MAC. Only if the destination MAC is my own MAC, then I will. If the destination MAC is my own MAC, then I will start next step. See, in the receiving interface la, once I receive the packet, if FCS check fail analo, MAC address, enoda MAC address illenalo, I will drop. Now imagine there is no FCS issue or no MAC, it's my own MAC address. So once I see my own MAC address, I will de-encapsulate the packet so that inside I can see the IP address. Once I see the inside IP address, I will compare that IP with the routing table lookup with the longest prefix match. So routing table lookup. If I find that IP address or destination IP in my routing table, I will find out that particular exit interface value and the next hop MAC address and all find manite. Again, I will re-encapsulate the packet. Once I re-encapsulate the packet, then I can see in the routing table exit interface also, right? Apo, through our interface, I will shoot it to the next level, next router. So again, every router will go with these 6 steps. Clear?
Sir, FCS check sir.
Frame check sequence, meaning normally our device will run some algorithm on top of the header value and will find out a value. Even a header value, even avana find header value, it has to be same. If it is different, then something has been altered. That's called as a frame check sequence that comes under MAC header. So you will not study in deep level of how it is working, but it's an overview. And the MAC header மேலேயே நம்ம ஒரு value run பண்ணி algorithm run பண்ணி will keep that also in the packet. Receiving side la, he will also run the same thing on the header. He'll find the value. And the value now find பண்ணாலே same ஆ மட்டும்தான் something has not been altered னு அர்த்தம். If it is different, then something has been changed the path. Okay.
One time repeat பண்ணுங்க sir. Face
algorithm. So basically, what is the MAC header we have? Tell me the MAC header. என்ன இருக்கும் MAC headerல? MAC header.
source IP sir. Source IP.
IP
Destination MAC, source MAC.
அப்புறம் என்ன இருக்கும்? Destination MAC இருக்கும், source MAC இருக்கும்,
source MAC, source port.
Source port நானே சொல்றேன் குழப்பாதீங்க. So destination MAC, source MAC, அதுக்கப்புறம் என்ன இருக்கும்? Others. Preamble அப்புறம் FCS. cyber security tools. So destination MAC, source MAC, then data, then we'll have the what is the upper layer protocol. Adukapura we have frame check sequence. So normally when PC1 sends a packet to another PC2, PC1 will run an algorithm on top of the entire header value, will find out value and keep it in the FCS. Maybe 088100 சும்மா வச்சுக்கலாம் value வந்து. When the same frame goes to PC2, PC2 again will run the same algorithm on top of the received header value, will find out one FCS value. The received FCS value, now find one FCS value, same ஆனது மட்டும்தான், nothing has been altered. If it is different, then something has been changed in the path. So I will drop it. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Read about MAC headers, MAC header value.
Okay, sir.
So now you understood the full journey of that particular PC to server. Correct. Just for the visualization again, we got PC1, R1, R2 and server. So here you can see initially PC1 raka, my IP address is 10.10.10.5 and my default gateway is 10.10.10.1, which is the R1's this interface IP. Okay. Now initially when the PC tried to send the packet to this guy, அனுப்ப முடியாது. ஏன் அனுப்ப முடியாது? Because I am not sure about the MAC address of this guy. So I will have source IP as my IP, which is 10.5. Destination IP is I know that is 192 dot something. Source MAC is my MAC only, which is I know. Destination MAC we are not sure. Correct. This MAC address initially PC don't know. So what he will do? He will use something called ARP, Address Resolution Protocol. See, normally with the help of ARP, a device can ask the MAC address of a given IP address. See, now here you can see the Vishnu PC order default gateway is in the interface IP. What is default gateway? The next hop router through which I can go beyond my network. In network தாண்டி நான் வெளியே போகணும் அப்படினா I have to go via the default gateway IP address. So what PC will do? PC will ask who 10.10.10.1 அப்படினு கேட்பான். அது he will reply back. When he replies back, he will reply back with the MAC address. So packet இங்க வரையும் போயிடும். அதே மாதிரி once R receive பண்ணதுக்கு அப்புறம் again R1 check ask about same ARP with help of ARP. He will ask this PC, this router's MAC address and he will reply back with the MAC address. Then packet goes here. அதே மாதிரி ARP request, ARP reply and packet goes. இந்த மாதிரி ஒரு 3-step process இருக்கும். சரிங்களா? Now 3 hops, 2 routers, 1 unchanged IP packet, 3 different layer 2 frames and the audience clapped. This will be the end results. Okay, so 3 time உங்களுக்கு வந்து MAC address change ஆகும். In this particular network, IP address remains same. See, router never changes the source and destination IP address. Only the layer 2 information change பண்ணுவான். Always imagine in this kind of scenarios, routers are like postmans. They don't change the address. Physical address தான் change ஆகுமே தவிர letter மேல இருக்கக்கூடிய அந்த address மாறாது. Clear? Okay. Now I already introduced you about these 3 guys. Let's talk about them now. So now, ஒரு routerல வந்து how do I learn the IP address? How does an IP address goes inside the routing table? So inside routing table, an IP can go via 3 different methods. Either it has to be a connected routes or with the help of a static route or dynamic route. Connected route na it is my router's physical interface IP address. Static route na, manually someone has informed me about that IP address, how to reach. Ide dynamic route na, dynamically we can learn the IP. See, IPv4 routing is enabled on Cisco routers by default. The router just need at least one up interface, then route start showing up. Up interface now. See, normally we have two status in those physical interface irukku illaya. In the physical interface ku vandu rendu status irukum. One is called admin up ன்னு இருக்கும். இன்னொன்று வந்து protocol up. Admin up will happen simply when you type no shutdown. Protocol up எப்ப ஆகும்னா when you have the physical cable connected to it. இல்ல neighbor sideலையுமே cable வந்து it has to be connected. See here in this interface, if you type no shutdown, admin up ஆயிரும். No problem at all. But if you want the protocol to be up, then the physical cable has to be connected and neighbor side में physical cable has to be connected. It is ready to send packet artham. If you see up down, then it cannot send packet. Down, it cannot send packet. It has to be up. And when you have multiple ways of learning the IP address, right? Then ஒரே IP வந்து if router learns via three different ways. Imagine via this one network, I am learning it as static route. Adhe IP, maybe one IP irukku, which is 10.005. Via this router, I am learning it through RIP EIGRP. Via him, I am learning same IP through OSPF. Via him, I am learning same IP through RIP. So, one IP 10.005, I am learning via 4 different ways. Upper which one I should choose as best one? Based on the AD value, administrative distance value, the lower wins. If it is static is 1, EIGRP AD value 90, OSPF the 110, RIP the 120. Connected is 0. If same IP is learnt via static, EIGRP, OSPF and RIP, which one will router take? Anyone? Router will prefer which traffic?
Static.
The man person. Yeah. Who is come on the thing. Which one?
Static.
Static, correct. If static is failed, apo?
EIGRP.
EIGRP. Okay, excellent. Now, how we can put an IP address into this routing table? Now, Sanamari, routing table again 3 ways: connected routes, static routes, and dynamic routing protocol. Connected routes, you know already, right? If you simply configure an IP address and you type no shutdown, automatically inside routing table, the IP will go. If you type show IP route, it will show like this. See IP address directly connected via GI 0/0 nu kaamikum. Now the main part about static routing. Yeah, Srini. Srini, you raised hand. You had a question? Like, okay. Next is your static route, which we configure with the help of IP route command. Command பாத்துக்கங்க. IP route to reach this destination network ID with SM mask. Next stop is 12.002. The diagram போடல. Let me draw a diagram now. So we got R1, R2, R3. So this IP address, this network ID is 192.168.1.0. This network ID is 12.000. So in the IP 12.001, 12.002. In the IP 192.168.1.1. Here 192.168.1.1. Now in static routing, how do we configure? From R1 ஆல இந்த IP ரீச் பண்ண முடியாது. It cannot reach this 192 IP. Why? because from R1 only 12 network is directly connected. 1 and 2 I don't even know about him. So I need to manually tell R1 how to reach this network. So I'll go to R1 and type IP route to reach this entire network. Via whom I can go? Via this interface I can go. Is it clear all? Purunjida,
Sir.
ask me question now itself. This is really important. Okay, great. So I go to
Vishnu, I got disconnected for some time. Could you please recap
Ada repeat
this
பண்றேன் again.
connected routes? இல்ல connected routes நான் power cut ஆயிடுச்சு. Just now it resumed back.
இது ஆல்ரெடி சொன்னதான் ஜி முன்னாடியே. I told previous slide right. அதை ரிப்பீட் ஆகுதுங்க திருப்பி. இங்க சொன்னல connected route அப்பப்ப same தான்.
Okay.
So we are going to do only on static route, which is important now. So when we talk about the static route, I'll go to R1 and tell him to reach this network. Your next stop is in the IP address. Abdini, we have to manually mention. Same way, I can go to R3 and tell to reach this network. The network 12.000.255.000. Next stop is this IP address. So once you configure static routing, you can see something like this. In the show IP route table, you can see something like this. Yes, 192.168.1.0/24 1/0 via 12.002 காமிக்கும். This 1/0 1 means your AD value, 0 means the cost metric value. Okay. About dynamic routing protocol, we can use either EIGRP or OSPF or RIP version 2 or BGP. We'll talk about that later, not in this chapter, okay? Okay, the route you don't have to type. The moment you have given an IP address, no shutdown. Okay, so normally what is connected route again? Connected route means once you have configured an IP address on the interface and you have given no shutdown, automatically and the IP on there will come inside the routing table with the AD value of 0 and the interface in which we have configured. Clear? AD value is as lowest as possible. The router trusts itself more than anyone else. See, rule of thumb or thumb rule pathina, interface must be up state. Means you have to give no shutdown and physical cable has to be connected. Then we have to have one IP address configured. Appa matana that IP can come into my routing table. Now why it exists? See, a router must know the subnet it sits on before it can forward anything, right? எனக்கு ஒரு IP இல்லைன்னா how can I receive a packet? How can I send a packet? So it's not possible. So in exam tips, remember this, in show IP route, the letter at the start of each line tells how the route was learned. If you see C னு பாத்தீங்கன்னா இங்க C na connected, S na static, R na RIP, D na EIGRP, O means OSPF, B means BGP. So that's very important. Okay. So Srini, we have repeated the same thing again here also. Okay, you said it again.
Okay. I want to know what is this AD?
Huh?
AD.
இங்க சொன்னேனே. இங்கே போயிடுச்சா மேலே போயிடுச்சா நெட்வொர்க்?
AD எனக்கு புரியல.
AD means administrative distance value. When I learn same IP via different protocols. ஓகேங்களா? ஒரே IP same router is learning via different protocols learn பண்றோம் அப்படின்னா which one I should take it as primary? I'm learning the same IP via static also, AHRP also, OSPF also, RIP also. நான் எதை primary choose பண்ணிப்பேன்? The one with the lowest AD value. Is it clear? இன்னும் புரியலையா?
Not 100%.
Sorry?
100% புரியல விஷ்ணு.
புரியல என்ன புரியல?
Somewhat okay, but not completely.
Okay. So let's draw a diagram then. So you would have a router, okayங்களா Srinivasan. You have a R1 router, okay. Now this R1 router having multiple interface. என்கிட்ட இங்க interface இருக்கு. இங்க ஒரு IP இருக்கு. Somewhere in the internet, these all links are going towards internet, ஓகேவா? Somewhere in the internet ஒரு IP இருக்கு, which is 10.005. Now this particular router is learning this IP. In the link we have configured static routing, okay? ஓகேவா?
Okay.
In the link I have configured EIGRP. In the link I have configured OSPF. In the link I have configured RIP. In the link சும்மா இங்கே போயிட்டு இருக்கு. So same IP when I'm learning via 3 different links. அப்போ R1 இருக்கான் இல்லையா? He will choose which path? சொல்லுங்க. Others? R1
ஷார்ட்டஸ்ட் பாத் தான் சார் சூஸ் பண்ணோம்.
Lowest AD.
பண்ணுமா? ஒன்று ஒரு டிஃப்ரெண்ட் ப்ரோட்டோகாலுக்குப்பா.
அதான்
ஒரு
சார்
ஒரு
ஸ்டார்டிங் யூஸ்
ப்ரோட்டோகாலுக்கும் ஒரு வே ஆஃப் ஷார்ட்டஸ்ட் பாத் இருக்கும். They don't அப்படி சேம் ப்ரோட்டோகால் வழியா லேர்ன் பண்ணியிருந்தா we can call it as shortest path. ஒன்று ஒரு ப்ரோட்டோகால்ல how they can even talk to each other. அவங்கள பேச முடியுமா என்ன? பேச முடியாது. Others guess it the right answer. Someone told me.
If it's have a lowest AD,
Which one is having lowest AD now?
static.
Correct. அப்போ ஸ்டாட்டிக் தான் பிரைமரி பார்த்தா எடுத்துப்பான் டு ரீச் 10.005. ஸ்ரீனி புரிஞ்சுதா இப்போ?
விஷயம் எல்லாமே ஓகே தான், பட் ஐம் டாக்கிங் அபவுட் ஸ்பெசிஃபிக்கலி அந்த ஏடின்றீங்களா, ஏடி வேல்யூ எப்படி கால்குலேட் ஆகுதுன்னு.
கால்குலேட்ல இது ஸ்டாட்டிக் வேல்யூ அதெல்லாம். AD we cannot change. If you configure static route, 1 is AD value. If you configure EIGRP, 90 is AD value. OSPF na 110.
டிஃபால்ட்டா
அது டிஃபால்ட் சொன்னேனே. இந்த போட்டுருக்கு இல்லையா?
Okay.
டிஃபால்ட் AD வேல்யூ எல்லாமே நம்மளால மாத்தலாம் முடியாது.
then basically based on the AD value the we are choosing the path.
Correct. Based on AD value only, I can choose which routing protocol or which path should I take. Now you tell me, if I'm learning 10.005 on R1, which path will router choose? Through Statica, EIGRP, OSPF or RIP?
Lowest AD value, which is static.
Which one? Give me the answer, right answer.
Static.
Static. If static fails, then
It goes to EIGRP.
sorry.
Second one, EIGRP.
If EIGRP fails, then
Then goes to DSPF.
DSPF are they? OSPF.
OSPF. So it's not.
நல்லா ஒத்து கவனிங்க. Clear? Okay. AD value is done. Great. The time now 9:50. We have 10 more minutes. Okay. So show IP route from no shutdown to routing table. See, this is how the no shutdown command is going to work. Okay, lab. When I say, when you type an IP address on the router's interface, automatically that IP will go to routing table. It has certain steps internally. Physical, I told you the cable plug has to be plugged in. On the interface, green light வந்து glow ஆகணும். The line protocol is up. Okay. It should show yes manual up இருக்கணும் first. Secondly, you must configure IP address with the help of command which you know already. Interface number, IP address and no shutdown command. As soon as you give no shutdown command, route auto added to the routing table. It will show the code as C and AD as 0. Now if you want to see the physical interface IP physically which is there in the router's interface and all, இப்போ எந்தெந்த interfaceல which IP we have configured, if you want to see the command is show IP interface brief. Or if you want to see only the routing table of a connected routes. Use the command show IP route. So normally the common mistakes you guys do, I mean everyone does, is that we don't give the shutdown command, or we don't set up IP address properly, or there's no cable connected, or wrong duplex or speed mismatch is there. These are the common mistakes we do, which we should avoid it now. So let's perform the lab on static route into the packet tracer. Lama. So I'll simply take two routers and I'll configure IP address and show you the routing table. Fine. So we have already used these tools and all, so I will not go through recap and all, not require. Fine. So let's connect these three routers. Yeah, in the interface, I'm going to configure IP address 10.001 255.0.0.0. Here I'll configure 10.0.0.2 255.0.0.0. Here I'll configure 20.0.0.1 255.0.0.0. Here I'll configure 20.0.0.2 255.0.0.0. Okay. நான் கமாண்ட் டைப் பண்ணிடுறேன் ஃபர்ஸ்ட் உங்க ரெஃபரன்ஸ்க்காக, அதுக்கப்புறம் I'll configure the router. ஓகே, இந்த இடத்துல நான் டைப் பண்றேன் மாதிரி. So here it will be command la clear தானே எல்லாருக்குமே? டவுட் இருக்கா ஏதாவது? Anyone? The command ல எனக்கு புரியலன்னு இருக்கா ஏதாவது? Okay, great. So let's go to the ரெண்டு சேம் பண்றானோ சரி வரல. So no
உங்க செகண்ட் இன்டர்ஃபேஸ் நெக்ஸ்ட் அப் இதுவா இருக்கு சார், ஒன்னு மாத்தணும்.
enable configure terminal interface FA0/0 IP address 10.001 255.0.0.0 no shutdown. Taja, if I've given no shutdown, I'm typing show IP router. Do I see my routers in the routing table? இல்லையா? IP தரலையா? இங்கே ஏன் தரல? கட்டிங் சார்ஜ். ஏன்னா என்னதான் நான் physical interface அப் பண்ணாலும் the cable on the next stops in the other side it is downstate, because the other side is down. I cannot send packet via him, so that IP I won't even learn. Now the show IP route is a command to check the routing table. If I type show IP interface brief, if you see carefully, this show IP interface brief command shows you the IP address, your interface numbers, then you can see whether the up state. This is what up state means. Status up and protocol up. But here protocol is down. Why Srinivasan it is down? சொல்லுங்க.
I'm just thinking.
Sorry?
I'm thinking. Give me some time.
Others, guess பண்ணுங்க anyone? Manoj Patil, tell me why it is down.
சார் அந்த சைட்ல இன்டர்ஃபேஸே டவுன்ல இருக்கு சார். இப்போ
Correct.
நம்ம ஐபி அசைன் பண்ணல சார்.
IP assign பண்றதுக்கட்டும் the other side interface itself is down.
இன்டர்ஃபேஸ் டவுன்ல இருக்கு.
யாருக்கு புரிய மாட்டேங்குது. Okay, that's the main reason.
Default it will be in a shutdown status, right?
By default நீங்க பாருங்க இருக்குல்ல. Default all interface it is admin down, right? So even if I try to send the packet, it will not receive it. It will drop it. So it is showing us up down. So let's configure other router now.
Sorry, the audio got disconnected. Could you please repeat it?
Srinivasan, நிறைய இஷ்யூ வருது உங்களுக்கு. உங்க வீடியோ ஆன் பண்ணுங்க Srinivasan.
புரியல.
Turn on the video. Interface FA0/0 IP address 10.0.0 to 255.0.0.0 no shutdown. Okay, now we can see the green color. Now if I come back to my same router 0, before show IP interface brief was showing up down, right? Now if I type again, it's showing up. Clear? Now protocol up is also there. Now before show IP route was blank. Before this gateway word, it was blank. Now if I type show IP route again, you can see the 10 IP. It is learnt via, then the physical interface is FA0/0 via C. C means what? C means connected. Okay. So let's complete this diagram now. Interface FA0/1. IP address 20.0.0.1 255.0.0.0. See guys, one thing keep in mind is that ஒரு router வந்து if it needs to ping an IP address, that IP should be there in the routing table. If you try to ping an IP which is not even there in the routing table, the ping will not work. Okay.
Vignesh, sorry, Vishnu, I have a short question. If you look into the router 1, the interface value is 0, as well as in the router 2, the interface value is 0. But if you look into the router 2 and 3, interface value is 1 and interface value is 0.
Interface value means what?
Sorry, interface number.
The other router physical interface number dana. It can be anything.
Physically, it can be anything. Okay.
Yeah, just a physical interface number. It is there as per the model. It can be FA0/2, FA0/3, FA0/4 also. Not a problem. Okay. So I have configured IP address 20.0.0.2 and I type no shutdown. And again, maybe here I have.
நீங்க ரவுட்டர் 3ல கான்ஃபிகர் பண்ண முடியும்.
Interface FA0/1 IP address 20.0.0.1 255.0.0.0 no shutdown. Okay, I think I've configured something different. Configure terminal interface FA0/1 IP address is 20.1 this side. Okay, now I have configured everything. Now you guys tell me, I told you one line, okay? Remember this line. If you don't see an IP in routing table, then you cannot ping it. Thumb rule. Go to R0 and you type show IP route to see the routing table. Hit enter. You see 10 network. If I ping 20.0.0.2, ping work aguma avada. Will it work or not?
Right now it's configured. So
Srinivasan, தப்பா ஏன்பா கரெக்டா ஆன்சர் பண்றீங்க? தானே சொன்னேன் லைனை படிங்க போய்.
Okay, if you don't see an IP.
It will not ping.
இவ்வளோ தெளிவாக போட்டிருக்கேன். இங்கே போட்டிருக்கா, இங்கே ஐபி இருக்கா?
Yes.
20.2
எனக்கு audio
இருக்கா?
disconnect ஆயிடுச்சு. So it's getting reconnected. Yep. Tell me.
எத்தனை ஆடியோ
Yeah.
இருக்கு? Now
Power
will it
cut
ping
I
or
had.
not? Will it ping or not, everyone?
It won't work. It won't work.
It won't work. Simple, okay.
It won't.
It will not. Yeah.
So now we have to manually tell router, hey router, how to reach 20 network. To reach 20 network, first I should find out the network ID. Network ID ரொம்ப simple தான். Keep host portion as 0. Network ID is 20.000. அவ்வளவுதான். இந்த லிங்க்ல network ID is 20.000. இந்த லிங்க்ல network ID is what? 10.000. Clear?
Yes.
That's all. So keep that host portion as 0 in the IP address. That's it. Now we'll go back here. We'll go to R0. R0 lo poite. We'll tell R0, hey R0, to reach this network 20.000.255.0.0, R0 ஓட next stop IP என்னது? இந்த interface IP இல்லையா? I can tell R0 to reach this network, go via this IP 10.002 IP. Same way, I'll come to R2 and tell, hey R2, to go to this network, go via which IP? Clear?
Yes.
Easy. Now just go to configure terminal. IP route. For the static routing command, the command is IP route. IP route to reach 20 network. Next stop is அவ்வளவுதான். சிம்பிளா முடிஞ்சு. Show IP route. This is a command I used. I'm copy pasting it for reference. இங்க எடுத்துக்கலாம் இங்க. Now tell me, can I ping 20.002?
Yes, sir.
Yes. 20.
Everyone says yes, sir.
Yes.
Very good. So the answer is no.
And ping.
Cannot ping. I tell you why. So
Yes,
why?
other end இதோட நெட்வொர்க் ஐடி இல்லனால பிங் பண்ண முடியாதுன்றீங்களா?
நான் சொல்றேன். So R0 knows about 20 network, right? When R0 sends a packet, what will be a source IP address? 10.1 na? How about destination IP address?
10.2.
10.2 ah? 10.2 ah?
20.2.
1.2. We are pinging that guy only, right? So this packet comes all the way to R2 க்கு போகுமா? அங்க reply வரும்போது reply will go to here. So while replying, what will be the source IP address?
10.2.
10.2.
Destination.
10.1.
என்னவா இருக்கும்?
Destination 10.1.
10.1.
10.2.
Now, does R2 knows about 10.1? R2
Yes.
10.1. He don't know, right? Then how can he reply? That is why the packet will drop here.
Okay.
So what you have to do to solve the problem? Go to R2 and configure there also. அப்பதான் work ஆகும். Go to R2. We'll tell, hey, IP route to reach 10 network. Next stop is what? That's it. Show IP route. I am typing fast because I am typing same command again and again. Okay. So here you can see now static configure. You can go back here. Now the ping will work. Exclamation means ping is working. So that's how you configure a static routing. What is the command I used? Dargan command. That's for reference. You can copy or you can take a screenshot also. There is a command I used this side. This is all about your static routing part 1. If you have any questions, ask me, or else we'll catch back in the part 2.